Hey everyone, this is Thomas Mark Zuniga, and this is the Facebook. No, this is not the Facebook. This is Tom. Hey, this is Thomas Mark Zuniga. My name is Tom, and oh, my middle name is Mark, and my last name is too crazy to pronounce. Uh, Hey everyone, this is Tom Zuniga, and you're watching the novel Chronicles. It's a name right here on Facebook. Welcome everyone to episode 5 of the novel Chronicles. It's been 13 or 14 weeks now since I've been since I started on the novel way back in late May, early June, something like that. And yeah, a lot has happened in that much time. So this is the first time you're watching the novel Chronicles. You need to go back in time and get caught up because so much has happened. We have an action-packed episode this time. Last episode, I introduced a concept segment kind of thing called Ask the Chronicler, where I invited people to ask questions, not overly specific, but sort of interesting questions to kind of get an idea of what exactly I'm writing about, because I haven't really given much concrete answers yet. So I want to try and get a couple of those questions in, if not all of them. We'll see how much I can do as time allows. But let's waste no time because we've got a lot to do, and let's take our trek to the board. And oh, I guess no suspense. We already see it. 45, 747. My goal coming into this project was to reach 50,000 words, which is a decent sized length. I believe that's about 175 pages of text. So 45,000 words plus 747. So I'm making really good progress right now, and obviously I'm going to go way beyond 50,000 words at this point, because I did finish part 2 of the novel yesterday, actually, and that only leaves the third and final part 3. So I now have the rest of this month. My goal is now by the 31st of August 2009 to finish part 3 and subsequently finish the first draft. So it's exciting stuff where I'm at right now, and I've only reached one milestone since my last check-in, number 45,000. Wait, actually, did I check in with 40? I may not have checked in with 40. I forget what my last video was. Anyway, 40 was Door, and 45 was Honestly. And the one before that was Lightly. So I've had a nice string of words, good words, coming off of And at number 30,000. So that's good. When I had this idea to do milestone words, I was afraid that every single one of my milestone words would be like the and I and to. So glad I got some interesting words up there. So that's where I am right now. I anticipate, like I said, with part 2 now being done, I anticipate part 3 probably taking another 20,000 words. So I expect when it's all said and done to be in the mid 60,000 range, maybe even up to the low 70,000 word mark range thing. So it's exciting. I'm definitely satisfied. Coming into this, I was worried that I just wouldn't have enough to say. That this would just kind of be a dinky, like 40-page novel, which wouldn't even be a novel. It would be like a novella or something like that. So I'm definitely, I haven't like been wordy or anything, you know. All those words up there are things that have happened, you know, things that need to happen and need to be said in the novel. So I haven't been just like racking up words just to do that. So definitely pleased with that and with my progress so far in general. And like I said, we'll see by the 31st, end of the month. Hopefully my first draft will be completed. That will be a huge goal. I'm still overjoyed when I go back and think of my first milestone, which was 10,000 words after the first video I made. And I was just so amazed to make it to 10,000 words, and now I'm at 45,000. So come a long way, and it's been fun. It's been a fun summer of writing and being away from school. And I'm glad I don't have to go back to school next week like everybody else. That's good. Glad I don't have to have that distraction. So, here's the deal. I've got, I say, about 5 minutes left to yak here. There's going to be no clue this time. I know you're all sad. The clue is the best part of the episode. But the reason there's going to be no clue is because I'm going to answer questions that you guys commented on the last video. And we'll see how much I can get done. I don't know if I'll get through all of them this time. If I don't, just carry those over next time. So let's waste no more time. Let's get to the questions, and we'll try and knock these out here. First question I got was, what is the genre of my novel? Like if it's a horror, or if it's a romance, or if it's a detective story or something. The simple answer is that it's a Christian fiction novel, which you know, there's authors like, my favorite authors, Ted Dekker and Bill Myers. They're two prominent Christian authors. There's the Left Behind guys, Tim LaHaye, Jerry V. Jenkins, Frank Peretti, the lady who writes all those Amish novels. You know, people like that. That's where you'll find my book in a bookstore next to those kinds of authors. I'm not sure if that's for the rest of my life I'm going to be constricted in this genre, in this vein, but definitely for this one, it is a Christian fiction novel, and employs a lot of spirituality. It implies a lot of other things too. It does have some romance in it for you ladies out there that like that kind of stuff, and you guys too. There's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of fantasy. Kind of a lot of fantasy, a lot of leaps. Doesn't really describe anything, but it does incorporate a lot of different things. So I think there's a little bit of something for everybody in this novel, and overall, just an inspirational tale is how I would like to describe it. So that describes the genre of my novel, and I hope that answers that question. Going into the other questions as I have them on screen here. Someone asked if part 1, I changed my whole Facebook profile a couple weeks ago. I got a new haircut, I got dressing in black. If you look at my picture as it stands now, I kind of look dark and evil, which is just how I was feeling at the time. But someone asked if that meant, as I was going into part 2, if that meant part 2 was just a really dark evil part, whereas part 1 was maybe more light. Maybe sorta dark, but I kind of like to consider parts 1 and 2 as dark, not evil, but just kind of dark. And yeah, a lot of, and I just got a text message. Thanks, whoever that was. I have a pretty good feeling they might get a shout out just now. No, wasn't I almost said the name. Wasn't the person I was thinking of, but hopefully we won't get distracted anymore. And I just completely lost my train of thought, and the clock is ticking. Oh yes, part 1 and 2. A lot of, you know, there's a lot of struggle, a lot of trial, and that's where part 3 comes in. Or hopefully there's some overcoming to these struggles and trials. So I think part 1 is dark. Part 2 definitely cascades onto that darkness. So I guess maybe part 2 is darker than part 1. But yeah, most of the book, the first half or the first 2/3 of the book is fairly dark. But there's probably a light at the end of the tunnel if I had to bet on that. So no worries. I'm not just gonna write a novel where everybody dies there's no hope. So don't be afraid about that. Um, let's see what else we got. The age and gender of the protagonist. That's a complicated question because there is no single protagonist. There are 3 parts to this novel, and there are 3 protagonists. Fancy that. And as far as their ages and genders, I don't want to get that specific right now, but one of the hints and pieces of advice that I took coming into this was you write what you know. Like, I'm not going to write about Buddhists or Hindu monks in India or something because I don't know a clue about them at this stage in my life. So you can probably bet that the age and gender of these 3 protagonists, I don't know, are probably fairly close to something I'm familiar with, i.e. my age. So that's a good bet. But I mean, obviously there are other characters, and it's not like it's all young people. I mean, there are definitely several important older people as well. So hopefully that somewhat answers that question without being too vague. What else we got? Is there a character named Steve? This is my favorite question, by the way. Is there a character named Steve in the novel? You know, coming into this novel and coming into this video, I had no plans whatsoever for a character named Steve, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point if in the final revision I just stick in some random guy named Steve. He just walks by in the novel and he just shakes someone's hand and said, "Hey, I'm Steve," and then he leaves, and we never hear from Steve ever again. Just to put that in there, and just to make that question worth it, I just might do that. I wouldn't be surprised. So as of now, no Steve. But hold out hope. There might be a Steve. There might be one. We'll see. Wow, things just go fast, don't they, at the Novel Chronicles? I might have to do another episode sooner. We'll see. That's all the questions I can take for now, because otherwise this video will go on forever. So that's all for now for Ask the Chronicle. If you still have more questions, feel free to continue commenting, and I will put first priority on the questions from the last episode. But again, hopefully I can answer as much of these as possible as I continue progressing in my journey. So I'm not sure when the next time I check in will be. My goal is to be done by the 31st, so it might be 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that. But obviously I'm sure you guys will find me when the next episode is ready. So that is all for episode 5, and hopefully we'll get a clue in next time. Sorry I disappointed you guys without having a clue this time. So hopefully we'll have a clue next time on episode 6 of the Novel Chronicles. Thanks again, guys, for all your support and prayers, and I'll see you next time.